Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of the great millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Stakim, Mahalal, you come back with another lesson through the Spirit, Lord's will it be edifying. This is an article from RT News. It says police calling military, to help enforce lockdown in Sydney after cases rise unabated. Okay, see? Where it's going? The troops, the military. Trump said over a year ago that they're going to do this through a very powerful force. And what other than that than the military? All right, so Sydney, Australia, America, the UK, France, Luxembourg, Greece, Italy, all those Edomite-led governments, they're all are going to come down with the same draconian measures, okay? Because you have to understand that these seven heads, okay, which America being the great horde that rides upon the scarlet-colored beast, okay, which this beast system is nothing more than the Roman Empire reborn, so to speak, the last leg, if I may add. America is the one that's spearheading this dragon up into derision, which it tells you in the book of Daniel, I believe the 7th chapter, it says he should come into the Ancient of Days. And the Most High and his son Yahweh Shai was going to put an end to this beast system, okay? So you have to understand that the grip that this beast system has on the planet Earth, okay, with America being the militia fascists behind it, which is spearheading these different protocols, okay, which is going to be, is going to lead into a military action, because you got China, Russia, basically Taiwan, and China, I believe, they're getting ready to lock into a war, and I believe that America backs Taiwan, if I'm not mistaken. But you also have America threatening Russia, and Russia is threatening the state of Israel, stating that, look, they're going to defend Syria. If you send another strike, we're going to attack you. And if Russia attacks Israel, then America, they has to get in that war. So everything is aligning up according to the prophecies, the way that the Most High said that the prophecies was going to align in this time. So you can expect lockdowns and more draconian laws and methods that's being passed through this beast system, okay, because she has a grip on the planet Earth, all right, and the world is falling victim of the tendencies of Babylon the Great. And also we're going to get that in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, when it kind of goes into how the Most High is going to destroy this kingdom, but how this kingdom was to stomp and put every nation under subjection, which is this fourth beast, which started with the Greeks. Shalakia. No, I meant the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire. But this beast system started with the Greeks. Okay, because you go into the Greeks, they represents the what was it? You had the leopard, you had wait a minute. I mean, matter of fact, let me not butcher, let me go and get it. Let me go get it. I don't want to butcher. That's a very sensitive chapter. I don't even get no calls. But you had the Greeks, okay, which preceding to that, you had the Persians and Medes, the Greeks, and then you had the Romans, which the Greeks and the Romans are interchangeable, okay, because they're the same Edomite kind. All right, so matter of fact, this is the book of Daniel 7, and I'm going to start at verses 3. It says here, it's 2, it says, and Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night and beheld the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, and 4 great beasts came up out of the sea, one diverse from another. It says the first one was like a lion and had eagle's wings, and I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted off from the earth, and made a stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given into it. And I beheld another beast, a second like unto a bear, and it raised itself up on one side, and had 3 ribs in the mouth between the teeth of it, and said unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. Okay, and it says, and after this I beheld, lo, like another leopard, which had upon the back of his 4 wings a fowl. It says that the beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. And I saw in the night visions, and behold, the 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strongly and exceedingly, it had great iron teeth, and devour and break in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Okay, so you have to understand, you go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, the statue that Nebuchadnezzar saw in a dream, this is nothing but giving you those same accounts of those beasts in the same order, like you had the Babylonians, Then you had the Persians and the Medes, okay, which was this, I believe, that second beast. And then the third was the Greeks, which is the leopard. And then the fourth beast, which is this Roman Empire, this current system that we in. Okay, and you can prove that by going to Daniel, the second chapter. When it goes here, this is the book of Daniel 2. And I'm going to start at, matter of fact, let's do a Google search real quick. I don't want to have to go through it. We're going to just get the image and the depiction of it. All right. This statue in Daniel 2. We got to go to represent. We know what it represents. All right. So here. Okay, so basically what we just read in Daniel, the 7th chapter, this is the same thing that's being brought over again. Like the first beast being of the lion, and it said, no, not of the lion, but that statue is the Babylonian Empire, which is the lion. Okay, and then you had the Medo-Persian Empire, which was the bear. Okay, and it says you got the Grecian Empire, which was the leopard, and then the Roman Empire, which is the dragon, the fourth beast. So what we just read in Daniel, the 7th chapter, is basically saying the same thing in the 2nd chapter. Okay, it just in allegorical sense or symbology, so to speak, if I may add. But anyway, Salakia, let's go back into the point. We're gonna get into the article. But it says here, and it says, and I considered the horns, and it says, and behold, there came up among them a little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Okay, that little horn is America, because those 3 little horns goes into the French. You had the French, the British, and then you had the Spanish. Okay, like you ever heard of the what is it? The Revolutionary War, the French War. Okay, you had the French Revolution. Okay, you had America that was at war with these different nations, etc. Okay, and it says, and I considered the horns, and behold, there came among them 3 another little horn, which is America, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and mouth speaking great things. Okay, and those great things are these philosophies, this blasphemy. Okay, the crucifixion of Yahushua and the putting of our people in captivity and doing away with our heritage. Okay, and ultimately trying to destroy that temple, which is the Israelites, because we don't have a physical temple, as those certain those Palestinians and those Amalekites teach over there. There's going to be a third temple that was going to be erected before the Lord comes back. The third temple that's being erected are the men of the Lord, the elect. We're the body. All right. And it says here, and I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the head in his hair is like the pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire. Okay. And it says here, and a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. And the judgment was set, and the books were open, right? Because you got to understand there are councils in the heavens. You got the demonic angels, and you got the righteous angels standing on the right-hand side of the Father. All right, and it says, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, right? Because you understand that the Greco-Romans, okay, which became basically the Roman Empire, which transitioned into this fourth beast, the Romans pretty much merged with the Romans, because the Greeks, they wasn't powerful enough to stop the strongholds of the Roman Empire. Okay, because understand that I believe one of the last strongholds of the Alexander's 4 generals was the Seleucid dynasty. I believe, was it Seleucus that went up against Ptolemy, if I'm not mistaken? I think that's Daniel the 11th chapter, when it goes into the king of the north and the south. Okay, that's pure history. That's not talking about modern day. That had already happened. But anyway, it says here, it says, and it says, and I beheld, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame, which represents America being destroyed by thermonuclear fire. Okay, and it says here, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time, right? Because, I mean, you still have the remnant of those nations that's still around, okay? Like you got the Assyrians, okay? You still got, you got the Greeks, which are the Edomites, you see? You got the Persians and the Medes, which is these, what do you call these, Iranians, or these Elamites, you know, and also they're going in captivity under the Israelites. And it says here, and I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, which is the chariots, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him a dominion and a glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. And his dominion is the everlasting dominion, which should not pass away, and his kingdom which should never be destroyed. Okay, so these Yahweh Shai, our nation is going to prevail forever. So that was the whole point I wanted to make, was that this system that they're setting up, this police action, so to speak, is going to overtake the world, because you got nations like China, which they believe in communism, okay, which America does. I mean, you can say America is pretty much a communist country too. It's no different. They just hide it under democracy. You see what I'm saying? But they believe they're promoting the same draconian law, and America is the spearhead behind these policies and so forth. So anyway, Slakia, let's get to it. It says, Sydney authorities have been blasted for militarizing the public health crisis after the New South Wales Police Commissioner Mick Fuller requested the support of 300 soldiers to ensure greater compliance with the restrictions. It says the 5 million residents in Sydney are currently in the 5th week of a citywide lockdown that has been extended until the end of August, but so far with sketchy compliance, it has failed to reduce new daily infections to 0. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe if it was them or if it was some country over there, they didn't even lock down, and they only had like 6,000 alleged deaths, which, you know, they didn't have to social, you know, SD and none of those things. You see what I'm saying? They were just living their life as normal, and then it wasn't any type of really mass, you know, death over there, which shows you that this whole thing ain't nothing but a bunch of you know what. All right, same thing out there in Haiti. You know, the president was put to death. He was assassinated. Why? Because he wouldn't allow certain psychobabble into his nation. And if you do the research, I believe that it was like, shit, wasn't no cases over there. So if we ain't got no cases, why the fuck do I need to put this on my people? See, that's what I'm saying. That great teeth, when it says that America pretty much stomped the residue of these other nations, that's symbolic, because the military, like I tell you, it was diverse from all other beasts, and that's because they have a Senate, they have a Congress, and on top of that, man, you have a UN, which the United Nations. These are a conglomerate of different nations coming together for what they call one common goal, which they call them the peacekeepers, which in fact that's polar opposite. But anyway, it says to help New South Wales police enforcement the measures, the regional commissioner had asked the Australian Defence Force to deploy 300 troops to the streets to boost its operational footprint and ensure that residents there comply with the restrictions. So basically martial law. This is martial law. It says, with an increasing in enforcement activity over the coming week, I've now made a formal request to Prime Minister for the ADF personnel to assist with the you-know-what operations. It says Fuller confirmed in a statement released by the NSW police, and sooner or later, that's going to be them coming door to door with them to make sure you get the you-know-what. That's what this is going to lead to. That's why they already setting it up. All right, and people, there's going to be a lot of pushback on that, but it's going to be a lot of death, man. It says Amnesty International Australia blasted the move in a statement on the matter, accusing the NSW police commissioner of militarizing a public health crisis rather than making its guidelines public and working with residents to ensure individuals are aware on how to comply with the now necessary you-know-what. And this is another article. It says Sydney widens police powers, ordering residents to wear masks at all times outside home amid surge in cases. So right there, they're there to make sure you wearing a mask. So if you don't wear a mask, they can penalize you for it. They can lock you up. And it says, and at the start of July, the NSW had rejected an offer to support the Australian Defence Force, believing that the police operation could control the spread of the virus, as it was mainly occurring between household contacts. It says the ADF has previously been deployed across Australia to support the border restrictions, to manage hotel quarantine facilities, which is basically FEMA camps, working to prevent new strains of the such and such being imported into the country. And this is nothing but a takeover, man. Okay, they're putting fear in people. This is what it's about. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Come up with some shit and then bully the people. Because people, when they see military and they see men in fatigues and helmets and guns, that scares the shit out of them, because what Esau did, and this is another reason why they show a lot of videos of police brutality, because they're trying to instill that fear in people. That just like when you got a man, a big bully that's known for knocking motherfuckers out that won't fight back. You know what I'm saying? He got a name for himself. So when you see him, like when Debo used to come, they used to tuck their chains in and shit, you know? Like what he say, what you got, Craig? You know? He like, man, I'm broke as a joke. He said, y'all some high rollers and y'all broke. And they used to put their shit up because Debo had a reputation on, you know, beating up people. So this is another reason why Esau shows police beatings and brutalities on TV, so he can instill that fear, like, yeah, we the big bad guru. You come up against us, we gonna put your ass in a rear naked choke. You see, and people have that engrafted in their mind, so they don't even attempt to try to fight these authorities or defend themselves, because it may end with a bullet to the back. So they're already instilled the fear. So when they do this thing, man, people gonna be fucking bugging out. Because I mean, how you like 3 o'clock in the morning, your door fly off the hinges, and you got a task force jumping in from the roofs, they crashing through the windows, because they coming in as a flood, man. They coming through windows, they coming through the back doors, patio doors. They coming through all of it, man. You know? And if you ain't got the Lord on your side, you're gonna be jacked up out here. You know? But it says here, the decision to call military was paired with the announcement that police will be granted expanded powers, as if they don't abuse that, including having a right to close business and shut down spaces that violate existing restrictions. So the cops can come in and shut shit down. So they're giving all authority to the police. Okay, a bunch of bloodthirsty bloodhound devils that's out for blood, man. Okay, the scriptures call him a bloody man. Boy, it's finna get bad. It says officers will also have the power to penalize individuals who fail to wear a mask at all times outside their home. $500, which is equivalent to $370, an increase on the original what is it, a US dollar, which is 200, which is equivalent to the US dollar $148. It says here, the deployment of soldiers and expansion of police powers come as Sydney reported a record number of new daily infections Thursday with 239 cases, the highest single day figure since the start of this. Okay, and you know what? That's relatively low. Okay, that's low compared to what allegedly the rest of the world has gotten. You got hundreds of thousands of what they call new cases or whatever, but over here it says with 239, the highest single day figure since the start of the you know what. So I mean, they trying to keep that shit down. For 239 cases, you sending in a damn military? Are you serious? If y'all people don't see that's a problem, then something is wrong with you. And this is what happens when you stick a cell phone and social media and toxic television in front of a bunch of docile idiots, man. They allow themselves to get taken over by this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you people in Australia, you docile as hell too. You got it too good. So they getting ready to lock your ass right back down. All right. The violent man. Let me find that. Let me find violent man. Violent. Oh, because Esau is violent, man. This is what he's getting ready. He's showing his horns. You know. He's showing his horns, man. Okay. This is the book of Psalms 18:48. It says, he delivered me from my enemies. Yea, thou liftest me up above those I brought up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent men. That's what we're going to say. Because they're going to come in as a flood, okay? And they're going to be, it's an extermination squad. Psalms 140:1, it says here, deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which is Esau. Another precept, keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. That's Esau. Preserve me from the violent men who have purpose to overthrow my goings. They want to stop this truth from coming out. So it's only so long before we're going to be on them streets. Like I said it several times. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we're off the streets, or at least our pages all taken down by the end of the year. You know, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, but eventually it will. I'm not saying, oh, by December, we're going to be off the internet. We're going to be not prophesying. I didn't say that, but it's very possible the way that things are going, we can be off the air by the end of the year. Okay? It's very possible. All right? Let's go here. Revelation 12. And I'm just kind of all over the place because the point is being made anyway. Revelation 12. And Salakia, man, I slipped up the tongue earlier when I said that the third beast and the fourth, I mean the third, which is the Greeks, and the beast system starts with the Greeks. Okay, but it was still two different beasts, but they became the Greco-Roman Empire. So Salakia for slipping with the tongue. In that case, I've confused brothers, but Lord's will, it was clarified when I went into Daniel, the 7th chapter and the 2nd chapter, and kind of broke it down briefly about how the lion, you had the bear, then you had the leopard, okay, and then also you had the dragon. So, hopefully you brothers was able to connect the dots when you looked at the statue here in Salakia, Daniel the 2nd chapter. This is exactly what this is nothing more but the breakdown of Daniel the 7th chapter. It just reiterated different. Okay. So the Medo-Persian Empire, the bear. So this is the whole breakdown here in case brothers needed to see it. You can screenshot it and do some, research on it and, find the fact check it and, find out that we're telling the truth about it. But anyway, Revelation 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. It says, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. So you busting somebody's door on 239 cases, man. That's some bullshit. But you people, that's your judgment. You allowed it, and this is what you signed up for. You allowed these people to back you into a corner. You allowed these elites to do what they're gonna do. And ultimately, as Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, okay, that's stirring the hornet's nest, because it's time for this man to go down, as we just read in Daniel the 7th chapter. Okay, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to destroy this damn beast system, man. And it's getting ready to be destroyed. This is the reason why these things are happening the way that it's happening. Because it's all to set up the kingdom of heaven on the earth. And we ain't ever got to look back again. So this is the book of Daniel 7. And I'm going to start at verses 19. It says, and then I will know the truth of the fourth beast, which this is the Roman Empire. This beast we're in now. The fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron. The teeth is the military. Okay. And it was diverse because you have like a Senate, you have Congress, etc. Okay. You got a conglomerate of nations that interface with this kingdom. It says, whose teeth was of iron, and his nails as of brass, which devour and break in pieces and stamp the residue with his feet. Okay, how did he do that? By taking down. The Greeks were pretty much merged into the Romans, but even then, who took down the Persians and the Medes? You see? Who took down Darius the Mede? And that's a question. You can look it up. And it says here, and then the 10 horns, that which is his head, okay, which goes into NATO and the EU, it says, and all the other which came up before whom 3 fell. Okay, the 3 that fell was the British, the French, and the Spanish. It says, of whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Okay, the proud look. Okay, the American eagle, the highest flying bird known to men. Nothing flies higher than the eagle, and that's the spirit that Esau chose, that emblem of the Most High, put a spiritual significance on that particular creature to symbolize Esau because of his pride. Now it says here, and I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. And this is how they're making war with us, man. You see this? Look at this, man. This nigga here, this Uncle Tom Sambo. I can't stand this dude, man. All right, I hate this bald face, bald head, low life nigga here. He may be a terror, a fucking Hamite. I can't stand this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because listen to the bullshit he said. Hold up. Come on, play, man.
I would say is this, in terms of how much of a setback it is for the region, the idea is very simply this. We've got a lot of work to do. This is a huge problem. Our doctors have been telling us it's a problem for a while. Today, we are taking real steps to make sure that we address that concern long term. That, to me, is the most important issue. It is a setback, and it's one that we're going to try to make sure we fix. So I'm not excited about it. I don't relish a mask mandate.
You see this clown is stuttering, right? He's full of shit. You see? He's full of shit. And, a lot of people in Kansas City cursing his ass out right now. Because this is bullshit. He's getting ready to do what he said last year. For all you jakes out there, man, you think that these Uncle Tom Sambo McNiggas out here are for you. They're not. This guy's a damn demon, man. You like Elder Malcolm has said, you got to beware of a man that beware of a smooth face and a man that wear a necktie and a suit. You got to beware of these people. This guy here is a damn demon, and I pray to Yahweh Shimi Hawashai destroys him for perpetuating in this wickedness, man. Okay, for promoting this wickedness, for falling in line. He's clearly in bed with Esau, clearly. And people look at him, oh, he's so successful. See, we got a black mayor, man. Emmanuel Cleaver was an Uncle Tom nigga, okay, a damn demon. You know, it could be several investigations on that guy. And then these politicians, man, they all crooked and dirty. And he's doing the bidding of Esau.
I am a normal person too, who forgets his mask sometimes or wants to be able to just run in and out from the store. But I think this is what we need to do to keep our community safe, to keep our school kids safe, and to make sure.
Bullshit. That never even did anything in the first place. My thing is, if people getting V for Vendetta and they supposed to be quote unquote safe haven, why the fuck are they doing it? Why do they have to do it? So obviously that didn't work. Obviously, according to you. But you see how these people are. You see, we told you niggas, man, that they was gonna keep running this shit over your head. We told Jake that. I told Jake, I said, look, Jake, they gonna continue to push this shit on you, man. I'm like, y'all gonna go down there and comply, and then you gonna still be under the same draconian bullshit. So, you niggas stupid. Anybody that got the, you know what, that's your dumbass fault, man. You deserve exactly what's gonna happen to you. Because it's speaking. And this is declaring war on the saints. Because they gonna keep the squeeze. They gonna keep coming with more shit until they got everybody in this box, man. And when they trap you in a box, that's when they gonna move in and try to crush you, man. Watch how this is gonna play out. It's gonna end with a lot of destruction, man.
Broadly, that we reverse the terrible trends that we've seen in Missouri and unfortunately now in Eastern Canada.
This nigga can't even lie right.
City of Kansas City, Missouri, the health department will continue to enforce this order. If there are known violations, they'll investigate them, provide warnings as always, and hopefully that's the end of it. We do not look forward to, and look, I say you can't enforce your way out of a lot of problems. I don't think you can enforce your way out of COVID-19. We certainly expect a great deal of voluntary compliance, but it is an order. If folks don't follow, they're in violation of the city ordinances, and we'll have the health department that deals with those issues thereafter. So in terms of place of public accommodation, this is a lot like the order that existed previously in Kansas City, Missouri. It suggests that where you have your larger events, that is things like grocery stores, department stores, among other things, they are subject to the mask mandate. Private residences, for example, even private vehicles in some ways are not covered within it, private club, and any place where you are not broadly open to the public. So if you have an office, and for example, no one ever comes into the office from the general public, then that would fall within the public accommodation. We've worked with the CDC throughout the entirety of this pandemic. There has not been guidance that...
I want y'all to pay attention to something too, right? Now, and you know, and that's so weird though, because this guy, Governor Mike Parsons, he's saying different. I seen an interview with him about 2 weeks ago. He said, we're not under any type of surge. He said, there's no type of emergency. He said, the fuck are they talking about? But you got this guy, okay, which I don't know if he's Democrat or Republican. I really don't care. But you have him saying something totally different from what the governor of Missouri is saying. So you see how they fucking with people. Mark Parsons on one hand is saying, oh no, that's not true. But if you read this, it says the surge. But according to Parsons, that's not the case. So what the fuck is he talking about? See the confusion, see the division? It's all a mess, man. It's so sloppy. But even then, people are still, you know, taken by it.
Recommends having an event size limit, capacity restrictions, and others. We are not trying to have more mandates or every mandate known to man. What we're trying to do is responsibly address the crisis that we have at issue. Missouri is a hotspot for COVID-19 infections. It has been for several weeks. We've seen an update in CDC guidance that suggests that Missourians and Missouri cities like Kansas City are under increased.
Yeah, this is the same people that put zombie apocalypse comics on their websites. We really supposed to believe that? Give me a break.
Risk with COVID-19 and its spread. That's why we're taking the step we do now. And let me just say this. I don't like mask mandates like everyone else. I don't like wearing a mask everywhere.
See, look at that smirk.
To wear a mask.
It's funny to him. Look at this. How can you? This dude's playing. He playing you people, man. Hey, look at this nigga's face. He couldn't even keep a straight face. He said, "I don't like it either." He knows. He knows, man. This guy knows, man. He knows, but look at him. You can't. These people are fucking actors, man, and they gonna do this at your expense and with your pain and torture because they know they ain't right. But the fact that you're not supposed to know that, and when you expose it, that's when they want to come in and crack some heads. And they gonna use these overgrown brutes, what you call the military and the cops, to do it. So, you Jakes ain't right with the Lord. Hey, you already know what your end game is gonna be.
Indoors and inside certain things, but like a lot of Kansas.
With his funny looking ass, man. Nigga, he funny looking as hell. Straight up, man. Look like a fucking turtle. This dude is a demon.
I have vulnerable folks at home. I have a newborn. I know that there are others that take care of elderly relatives or any number of other things that encourages folks to make sure that we're staying safe. And this is the most important and impactful thing we can do for the community right now.
I can't stand that dude, man. I do not like that nigga, bro. No, that's the spirit. See, look, that's the spirit. That's this other
Governor,
demon here.
last week you said Missouri's healthcare
Governor
system.
Mike Parsons, he says we're not in mode. We knew this is gonna take place. Bingo. He says we're not in crisis mode. You see what he said? This is the other devil that they accuse of embezzlement and still. This guy got a lot of investigations out on him too. All these devils are crooked at the end of the day. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. But it says, "And I beheld the same horn made war against us with the saints and prevailed against them. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. And thus he said, the fourth beast should be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which should be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it into pieces." Okay, that's this current system. Okay, which the MOTB will be pushed through this method. It says, "And then the 10 horns out of his kingdom are 10 kings that should arise, and another shall rise after them, and should be diverse from the first, and he should subdue 3 kings. And he should speak great words against the Most High, and should wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And it should be given into his hand until times, and the dividing of times. But the judgment shall sit, and they should take away his dominion, and consume to destroy unto the end." Okay, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven should be given into the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion should serve and obey him. Okay, so that's what's getting ready to happen. Yahweh Shai is going to come and smite this, like they showed you. The Lord came and smite the statue, man. So that represents the end of all this shit, and we're coming to the end of it. And Esau, he's not banking on that. He's not expecting that to be the case. His pride, read Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, that right grievousness which they prescribe. Okay, so anyway, with that, man, I'm gonna give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. With that, shalom and the Baba Ball.